let's talk about Nintendo. Everyone say hi, YouTube. You know, when Nintendo does some crazy stuff or some controversial stuff, the whole world should hear about it because sometimes it's just very confusing as to why they even decide to do certain things. But this right here is a very wild one. And this should come as a calling card to everyone because, and you probably open this video with this, a hacker has to pay Nintendo 20 to 30% of his salary for the rest of his life after being released from prison. How's that for a headline? You go to prison for hacking, which is illegal, sure. Moral argument, different story. You go to prison for hacking, you serve your time, and then you're forced to give your salary to Nintendo? Some more details about it here. Nintendo hacker Gary Bowser, and that's his name, was released from prison after 40 months, but must pay the company 25 to 30% of his income for the rest of his life after operating the hacking website Max Console. Team Executor originally created modchips and hacking tools for various consoles. They're also the masterminds behind the Nintendo Switch custom firmware SXOS, which allows users to play pirated games. Now, I know a lot of you guys here use, what's it called, Yuzu, the emulator, and all that. This doesn't seem that different from that. In 2020, the release of SXOS and Switch mod chips caused ire at the House of Mario. The problem is the chips were sold by Team Executor, who then published and promoted their products on websites such as Max Console. And there you can find how to use and where to purchase the mod chips. But in 2020, Canadian Gary Bowser, who ran it, was extradited to the US following his arrest in the Dominican Republic. And I remember making a video about this guy in the past because the slew of bad luck this guy has had has been absolutely insane. Like he's been through so many bad things. I think there's a picture of the guy here. There he is right here. This is him. Seemingly this is Gary Bowser. This is the man who will be, even though he's out of prison, he's a prisoner to Nintendo for the rest of his life, according to the pictures. Could be right, could be true. Maybe this will be the thumbnail. I don't know. But according to the reports, he willfully participated in a cyber criminal enterprise that hacked leading gaming consoles that developed, manufactured, marketed, and sold a variety of circumvention devices that allow the enterprise's customers to play pirated versions of copyrighted video games. He pleaded guilty just over 2 years ago. No, just over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. He was later incarcerated at the FTC in Seattle. He got an early release from prison, citing good behavior as one of the reasons. Well, yeah, good behavior. He's not a murderer. He just wanted to play more video games. You dicks. Currently, he's awaiting a return to his home country of Canada, and he's Canadian. Of course he's a sweetheart, according to a recent video interview. And he has an interview with this guy.
And one of the things that's going on right now, people stating they can no longer keep like copies of their games. Now with the online side of things, some of these games are dying on server side. So you may purchase a game and then you may lose it in the long run. What is your stance on that, Gary? How do you feel with digital being so relevant and that you may purchase a game today and let's say 10 years from now, that server goes down and you can no longer play that game?
It's a tough decision. Everything is switching to digital. It's a shame that when we can still look at pieces of art that were painted by someone thousands of years ago or statues. It all depends on the company's policy. If they don't want it anymore, they can pull it off the market and it's gone. It's one of the areas why a lot of people end up doing hacking and stuff is so they can get in, keep their stuff or move their games from one system to another. So it's going to be a debate, I think, over the next 5 years, maybe 10 years. It's not over yet.
But the crazy part of it is, but Bowser must pay Nintendo back for the rest of his life. $14.5 million in damages to his name, chat. Bowser may have been released from prison, but the looming specter of Nintendo stands tall. Like, imagine that, guys. Imagine not only paying 25 to 30% in taxes to your government. He's in Canada, by the way. Taxes there are higher. But then another 25 to 30 to Nintendo. You're keeping less than half your income. Less than half your income for the rest of your life. So far, less than $200 of the total $14.5 million has been paid off. It's likely that Bowser will never pay the full charges back in his lifetime. Soon, Nintendo will enjoy the release of its latest flagship Zelda title, Tears of the Kingdom. Though piracy on Nintendo Switch still runs rampant, it's unclear whether or not the incarceration of Bowser and hunting of hackers has proven to be an effective tool against software piracy. Let me remind everyone we're here. Nintendo net worth. I mean, if they're coming after this guy for $14 million, clearly they must be really, oh, right. So they're coming after this guy for less than 0.1% of their own net worth. It's just stupid. 0.01? Is it 0.01? Yeah. Look, is it against the law to do what he did? Yes. I'm not arguing that hacking hardware and selling it for your own profit is illegal. I get that. There's laws in place for that for a reason. At the same time, the guy wasn't hurting anyone. I don't think Nintendo's sales at all were hurting from this. And the guy went to prison. He went to prison where he was away from his home, away from his family, with God knows what kind of other people, and he served his time. But I have never in my life seen a prison sentence that once you have served your time, then this looming financial contract, I don't know. It's like Nintendo's doing Nosferatu on him for the rest of his life. It doesn't matter. I don't even know. Is that legal? Is it a Canadian thing? Like I've never seen that happen. I've never seen someone continue a punishment after a sentence has been served, right? It's very, very weird. And if you want my opinion, I think this is a lot of show, right? I'm not saying it's not happening. This is definitely happening. And Mr. Gary Bowser for the rest of his life is effectively but I think Nintendo is doing this as this is what happens when you mess with us. You know what I mean? They're literally locking up Bowser. You can't make this shit up. Yeah, I don't know. And yeah, that's a good point, Flan. He's a felon already. Probably is going to only find the most minimum paying of jobs anyway. He's going to have to rely on another person or his family for the rest of his life. And he's an old guy. Not saying he's like senile, but from the picture I saw of him, he's this guy clearly in his early 50s, maybe 60 years old. But it's just, I don't know. Is this guy the enemy? Maybe mid 40s. Is this guy the enemy? You know, is this really the kind of people that we deserve to lock up in this world? No. And I say it, and it's very obvious. I play on a modded version of Melee every time I do a tournament. We use it all the time. We use modded adapters. We use mods to make the game better. We use mod to fix all the mistakes. And the fact of the matter is, I think, and press one if you agree, he goes to prison, sure, it's in the law. He serves his time, then leave the guy alone. Then he promises to not do more hacking, and you leave this man's life alone. But you don't go after him for the rest of his life. That does not make sense at all. Like, holy crap. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This has just been another example of Nintendo being vile. So yeah, I don't know. It's putrid. As always, I'll see you next time. Everyone say bye, YouTube. Bye, YouTube. Bye.